Hey guys, Joel here. I'm home in Massachusetts for the holidays, and that means I've been reunited with my DVD collection. I think over the years, moving so much, leaving New York, selling my dad's house, I got rid of a lot of stuff and consolidated my material possessions to the best of my ability. But one thing I never got rid of was my DVD collection. And it's kind of a cherished thing, and eventually I'll take it with me when I have a more permanent house. But I started collecting in middle school, right when me and my friends started watching all the classic movies. You know, we were watching Taxi Driver, Memento, Goodfellas, The Prestige, you know, Scorsese, Nolan, Spielberg, you know, Tarantino. You know, when you just get into movies and you start watching like the beloved classics, and you know, instantly I was like, I want to collect these. And one of the first goals I set out on in collecting is like, I want to collect every Best Picture Oscar winner. In middle school, I'm like, I want to collect them all. I got Rocky, Platoon, you know, and I probably got a good 30 of them, and I sort of just trailed off from there. And I think collecting in general and movie watching in general is so fun because it is sort of this trailing off. You have this idea of what you want to do, like, oh, Best Picture winners, and eventually you get distracted because you find a couple filmmakers you really like, or a couple, a series you really like, or this or that, and you start branching off and you just kind of forget the original goal. So I never did finish that goal, and at this point that goal's not as enticing to me as something else, which is I love Criterion hunting for Criterion Collection DVDs. And if you don't know what Criterion is, I think I have some of them here. It's like this DVD publisher slash film restorer slash, you know, general archival collector series that they put out, like movies that they deem to be artistically important and really historically worth preserving. And they just put out these really beautiful, tons of special features, though I never really watched them, versions of movies that are almost without fail at least interesting, if not are amazing, if not are masterpieces, you know. And I got into them in probably 10th or 11th grade. I found out about them, and that was my big sidetrack from collecting Oscar winners. I was like, ooh, what's this whole world of movies I never heard of? And I started really diving into that because, you know, there's something to be said about owning a movie, and for, you know, every 5 of these I've watched, there's probably 2 or 3 I haven't. So this is only holds up so well. But I feel like if you actually own a movie, you're more likely to watch it. You know, we have an abundance of riches in what to watch. You know, it's a classic joke at this point. Trying to choose a movie on the streaming service is like a fruitless errand. It's so hard. You're just scrolling through either the same 30 popular movies, or you're scrolling through like the abyss of who knows what you're looking at. And I think with like DVD collecting, if you intentionally buy something, especially when I was like younger and I was actually really watching these DVDs, if you intentionally buy something, I feel like you're more likely to watch it, which is really fun. And then you have it forever, and you're like, oh, I could watch this whenever I want. It's not like, is it going to be available on Netflix this month? It's not like this. It's not like owning a digital copy, which I think is so silly. It's so much more kind of specific. And I'm somebody who embraces new technology way more than I like, you know, shun it. But I do think there is a bit of a, like I said, a bit of a sea of content right now that makes it impossible to actually weed out and find interesting, good stuff at times. And I think, yeah, I always say the Criterion Collection, Criterion Channel, their streaming service, is definitely worth diving into. That's a really good one. But yeah, collecting was always like a warm, special way to physically manifest this interest and hobby of mine. It's like, oh, these are all the movies I love, some ones I don't love, some ones that are bad. I think this is my bad movies section, which, you know, has The Room and Birdemic and Samurai Cop and all the classics. And I don't really know what else to say about movie collecting other than it is this sort of ode to loving movies. You know, you have this physical giant thing in your home that is just like a constant reminder of like movies. And I'm like, so even though I haven't really collected in a long time, I still have like dreams. And if somebody is good at deciphering dreams, please tell me in the comments what these mean. But I have recurring dreams of like being at like Barnes and Noble or being at like a thrift store and finding like Criterion DVDs, because like Criterion are more expensive. You know, new they'll cost $20 to $40, and you know, finding them at a thrift store is kind of like the hunter's dream. You know, you find like one for $5 and you feel like you're getting away with robbery. You know, you know, going to like a yard sale and finding an old Criterion is like finding gold to like a DVD collector, which is so funny. And I have dreams about it, like, and in the dreams the movies are never actual movies. They're like nonsensical movies that don't exist, but I'm like, yes, I've been looking for this one. And I think there's just something so wholesome and singular about DVD collecting in my life. It's just like something I do so alone. You know, if I'm driving and I see a thrift store, I'll just stop and peek around the DVD section and see if I find anything cool. And it's like I hardly ever do, but just that stopping and looking is like a very meditative, nice process. And I'd say like, yeah, if you want to collect movies, start with a goal like I did, and then just kind of get lost in it. Yeah, that's a fun way to go. Or collect all of one director's movies. If you have a couple of directors you know you love, get all their movies. That's like a fail-proof system of like having a cool collection to start off on. Yeah, since being on my van trip and living on the West Coast, I kind of stopped collecting, and it's just because I don't want to be like building a small separate collection that I then have to move or figure out what to do with it. So eventually when I settle down somewhere and I have this collection with me, I'll probably start going to thrift stores and adding to it again, which I kind of look forward to. It's a little future plan, a little meditative thing for Joel to do in the future. I don't know. I don't really have much else to say. It's such a simple little video, I guess. It's just something I like to do. I like to collect movies. I don't make a big stink about it. I'm not. I tried to start like a movie collection channel in like 12 years ago where I was just like talking about movies. I forget what it was even called. Vlog about movies is probably out there somewhere if you want to dig it up. But yeah, it's just something I kind of like to do. And I think having little things you like to collect is a nice way to reward yourself. You know, you go out, you find a cool new thing for your collection. I think collecting's fun. You know, I don't really do it in any other capacity other than movies, but it's fun to have something you're always on the hunt for. You know, something you go into a thrift store hoping for, and something that you'll stop at a thrift store or a used DVD store strictly because you're hoping for it. You know, it's just a nice little spice on life, I guess. And as far as any specifics in the collection go, maybe while I'm home I'll talk a little more specifically if that's of interest, but it is just a bunch of movies. You know, there's a lot of standard ones, and I don't know where my Criterion are right now. I think they're separate somewhere. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this video provided you something. I don't know if I said anything at all other than just collecting movies, but yeah, I guess that's all this is, collecting movies. Love you guys, and I love movies. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.